Hello, everyone. Welcome to the first official episode of The Means of Genes, where we're going to talk about genes and what they mean. In this episode, we're going to be talking about chromosomes. And first things first, before we do that, though, we should discuss the human body, what the human body is made out of. First things first, all the way on the right of this slide, we have an organism. And an organism is a living thing like a cat or dog, and even humans are organisms. And keep in mind that organisms are individual living things, so two humans, cats, or dogs would be considered as organisms rather than a single organism, because an organism is just an individual living thing, and organisms are multiple. And second, organisms like humans are made out of organs like the heart, brain, lungs, or kidneys. Skin would also be considered as an organ, and some of these organs work together to keep us alive, like how the circulatory system and the respiratory system work together in the process of cellular respiration. Third, we have tissue or tissues, and there's not really much to say about tissues besides they come together to form muscles, skin, and organs, because that's what organs are made out of. Organs are made out of tissues, and tissues are actually made out of cells. So, fourth, we have cells, and different cells perform different functions in the human body and relate to every organ system in the process of the body. Sorry. They relate to every organ system and process in the body. It is worth mentioning that some species only have one cell that make up organisms, while mammals like humans, cats, or dogs are multicellular or have many cells. Cells aren't where we end, though. Cells are made up of organelles. So all of these parts of the cell are called organelles. There's many of them. Um, And one of the main ones that we need to know when we're talking about DNA is the nucleus. And there are many more organelles, as you can see, like all these other ones. But the main one that really relates to DNA is called the nucleus. Um, Inside the nucleus, you'd find many strange looking structures that look like X's. Now, these X's are called chromosomes, and regions of these chromosomes have long strands of genetic material called genes. So that's what you see like when there's like the looking thing of gene that kind of comes off the chromosome, because that's what chromosomes are made out of. Um, Genes are made up of a sequence of molecules called deoxyribonucleic acid, or DNA. The structure of DNA resembles a twisted ladder, because you can see it's like a ladder and it's just kind of, twisted, like someone would have just like rotated it constantly, I guess. And it has a backbone made of sugar and phosphate molecules. The steps or the rungs of the ladder are called nitrogen bases or nitrogenous bases. So all of these here are what we call nitrogen bases, and they come in pairs. So first, we have adenine and or A, because just for short we can call it A. As you can see on the bottom, there's the A. Um, so adenine or A, and adenine pairs with thymine or T. Second is guanine or G, and guanine pairs with cytosine or C. So these sequences of nitrogen bases make up long strands of DNA, and DNA make up genes. And many genes make chromosomes inside the nucleus. And cells that have nuclei are called eukaryotic cells, and cells okay. So cells that have nuclei are called eukaryotic cells or eukaryotic organisms, because the organisms have cells that contain nuclei. And on the other hand, we have cells that don't have nuclei. We call them prokaryotic cells or prokaryotes organisms. And prokaryotes are mainly single-celled organisms, and eukaryotes are multicellular. So we know that humans are eukaryotes because we have many cells and we have DNA stored inside of a nucleus. So while humans are considered eukaryotes, they are actually prokaryotes that live inside us, which is somewhat of an unsettling fact, but I guess we're home to many other microorganisms in our body, I guess. Yeah, that's a great fact to hear. We have other organisms living inside us. So that's great. Anyways, then if we're talking about the numbers of chromosomes, every cell or every nucleus because out of all the cells in our body have a nucleus besides of the prokaryotic ones that live inside us that aren't really part of the organism. um, Eukaryotic cells with the nuclei, inside the nuclei have 23 pairs that add up to 46 chromosomes in the nucleus. So for these like one pair, you can see there's two. All of them add up to 46 chromosomes. And just the total number of chromosomes in a human body would be very high because of the number of cells that a human has, which is like, I think, in the trillions. So yeah, trillion multiplied by 46, that's a lot of chromosomes in the human body. So uh, two of the 46 chromosomes are called sex chromosomes because they determine what the gender are. Males have one X chromosome and one Y chromosome, while females have two X chromosomes. So XY is male and XX is female. Every cell has a copy of these sex chromosomes and all of the other chromosomes, meaning that every cell has a copy of each gene. Unless if you're a male, because you would only have one X chromosome, so every cell only has one X chromosome, not two, because you're a male and you only really have one X chromosome. You can't have two if you're a male. But besides that, you would have a copy of each gene in every cell. So as you can see here, these are the sex chromosomes because there's the one X and the one Y. If you're a female, it would obviously be different because you'd have two X's, two X chromosomes. So yeah. In conclusion of this episode, let's summarize what we have explained. We discussed that chromosomes are structures made of genes inside of the nuclei of eukaryotic cells, and each cell has 23 pairs of chromosomes, with one pair being sex chromosomes. The genes and chromosomes are made up of long sequences of DNA from nitrogenous bases called adenine, thymine, cytosine, and guanine. We also explain how every cell has a copy of each gene because the chromosomes come in pairs, unless if you're a male because you only have one X chromosome. And in the next episode, we will discuss how DNA can make proteins through a process that we call protein synthesis. All right, thank you, everybody. If you want to see more, you can go and check out the next episode. Trying to end the recording, but it's not letting me. All right, bye.